Barcelona's smart plan is beginning to emerge. Atletico Madrid's financial crisis could reportedly force the club to sell Julian Alvarez. Meanwhile, Argentina's biggest weakness has become a major talking point ahead of the 2026 FIFA World Cup semifinal. Wayne Rooney has also surprised many fans by revealing what he believes is Lionel Messi's biggest weakness. On top of that, Jude Bellingham has shared his thoughts ahead of the highly anticipated showdown between England and Argentina. Before we get into today's news, let us know your prediction in the comments below. Who do you think will win, Argentina or England? And if you're a Lionel Messi fan, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest updates on Messi and the Argentina National Team. Barcelona's smart plan. How could Atletico Madrid's financial crisis force them to sell Julian Alvarez? The summer transfer window is heating up, especially in the Spanish capital, where Atletico Madrid's management is facing an increasingly challenging workload. The club has already completed several major signings to strengthen the squad, bringing in Kang-in Lee from South Korea, Morten Julmand, and Alejandro Grimaldo in deals worth more than 80 million euros combined. These significant investments have left Atletico Madrid facing financial fair play concerns, meaning they must quickly sell several players in order to register their new signings and balance the club's finances. Despite their ambitious plan to offload a number of players, none of the expected sales have progressed as planned. This situation is being closely monitored by Barcelona, who hope it could open the door to signing Argentina striker Julian Alvarez. Atletico Madrid's player sales stall. Los Rojiblancos are planning to sell 4 players to generate the funds they urgently need. However, nothing has gone according to the plans of sporting director Mateo Alemany. Thiago Almada. Almada's transfer is the closest to being completed. Atletico Madrid are reportedly close to selling 50% of the Argentine midfielder's economic rights to River Plate for around 20 million euros. Although both clubs have reached a verbal agreement, the deal has not yet been finalized because the player is still competing at the FIFA World Cup. Alexander Sorloth. The Norwegian striker is Atletico's biggest potential sale. The club has placed a 40 million euro price tag on him. Negotiations with Juventus have been ongoing for several weeks, but have yet to produce an agreement, while offers from several Premier League clubs have shown little meaningful progress. Matteo Ruggieri and Jose Jimenez. Ruggieri has also attracted interest from Juventus. Meanwhile, Atletico Madrid are not expecting to receive a significant transfer fee for veteran Uruguayan defender Jose Jimenez due to his age. Alvarez, the emergency solution. Mateo Alemany and head coach Diego Simeone are doing everything they can to avoid the worst-case scenario, selling Julian Alvarez during this transfer window. However, selling Alvarez could become Atletico Madrid's only realistic solution to raise the money needed to sign the players Simeone wants. The club is still searching for a replacement for Antoine Griezmann, a world-class central defender, and potentially another striker if Alexander Sorloth leaves. With the FIFA World Cup approaching its conclusion, time pressure on Atletico Madrid's management is only increasing. Barcelona believe that situation could eventually force Atletico Madrid to sit down at the negotiating table and accept the best possible financial offer for Alvarez. Barcelona's position: calm, confident, and trusting the player's decision. We will decide how this story ends. Meanwhile, Barcelona are remaining patient and are refusing to rush the process. Club president Joan Laporta recently stated during the team's tour of the United States that Barcelona will not meet excessive demands from other clubs. Their transfer strategy remains clear and consistent. Barcelona have already submitted an official offer to Atletico Madrid and have no intention of increasing it. The club's hierarchy believes Atletico Madrid will eventually have no choice but to accept the proposal in order to keep their sporting project moving forward, especially after spending the majority of their transfer budget. As for the recent rumors linking Arsenal with Julian Alvarez, Barcelona reportedly see them as nothing more than an attempt by Atletico Madrid to create a bidding war and drive up the player's price. The biggest source of confidence for Barcelona is Alvarez himself. The Argentine forward is reportedly determined to join Barcelona and has no intention of changing his decision. The final round of negotiations is expected to begin next week, immediately after the FIFA World Cup concludes. At that point, it should become clear whether Atletico Madrid have succeeded in selling their other players, or whether Barcelona's plan to sign Julian Alvarez will finally become a reality. Argentina's weakness. Wayne Rooney surprises everyone by revealing Lionel Messi's weakness. What did the England legend say ahead of the semi-final? Ahead of his first ever meeting with England in a World Cup semi-final, Wayne Rooney believes Lionel Messi has extraordinary attacking qualities, but contributes very little defensively. According to Rooney, that is the gap the three Lions can exploit. England's challenge in Atlanta is not only facing Argentina in a World Cup semi-final for the first time in 24 years. The real challenge has one name: Lionel Messi. Despite scoring 125 goals in 205 international matches, Messi, now 39 years old, has never faced England at senior international level. He enters the semi-final as the tournament's top scorer with 8 goals. Indeed, his run of scoring in 9 consecutive matches came to an end against Switzerland in the quarterfinals. However, despite not scoring, Messi still provided 2 crucial assists that helped Argentina secure the victory. Wayne Rooney believes the key to stopping Messi is to reduce, as much as possible, the moments when he can make the difference. Rooney told BBC Sport, "Messi can be Argentina's weakness defensively because he doesn't contribute much in defense. But he can decide a match in a single moment. What makes him so special is his ability to make the right decision at the most important time. Marking him requires constant concentration and communication." Meanwhile, England arrive full of confidence after defeating Norway 2-0 thanks to 2 goals from Jude Bellingham and reaching the World Cup semi-finals for the first time since 2018. Argentina themselves qualified with difficulty after defeating Switzerland 3-1, with a goal from Julian Alvarez in the 112th minute, before Lautaro Martinez sealed the victory. However, former England defender Micah Richards believes Messi changes everything. He told BBC, "England may be quicker, but Argentina have Messi, who is a genius. Everyone plays for him. He's almost impossible to mark because he doesn't drop too deep. Instead, he appears in spaces you never expect. His ability to read space is incredible, and his charisma is unmatched. He always appears at exactly the right moment." Jude Bellingham's comments ahead of England versus Argentina. Note, the following is a dramatized monologue created for storytelling purposes and is not an official statement by Jude Bellingham. Lately, there has been a lot of talk about us, and I'm fully aware of it. I read what people write. I hear what they say. I also understand that some people hope all of that will affect us in a match as big and as important as this. But I want to make one thing absolutely clear. We know exactly why we're here, and nothing will distract us from that goal. For goals in my last 2 matches is a statistic I'm proud of, but it means nothing if we fail to reach the final. That's the only thing on my mind right now. Nothing else matters. Individual statistics will be forgotten, but reaching the final will be remembered in history. Argentina come into this match full of confidence, and that's completely understandable. They've had an outstanding tournament. They've been consistent. And they have Lionel Messi. I'll speak honestly about that because it's the most important part of this match. Facing Messi is something I've dreamed about since I was a child. I grew up watching this man do things on the pitch that I thought were impossible. His movement, his passing, and his goals made me replay match footage over and over again just to understand how he did it. And now, standing on the verge of facing Messi in a World Cup semifinal still feels hard to believe, even as I say it now. But I won't go into this match as a fan admiring his idol or as a little boy living out a dream. I'll step onto that pitch as a professional footballer determined to win the match with everything I have. Respect does not mean fear. Admiration does not mean accepting defeat before the match even begins. That's the balance I'll take onto the pitch on Wednesday. At 39 years old, Messi is still producing performances that go beyond everything we know about football. While I'm still at the beginning of my career, at what should be the peak of my physical condition, I've already started feeling the fatigue caused by the demanding schedule of this tournament. So how does Messi do it? How has he maintained this level for so many years? I don't have the answer. But I do know one thing. He's not impossible to stop. It's incredibly difficult, more difficult than any player I've ever faced, but it's not impossible. We'll go into this match with a solid plan, a strong team spirit, and complete belief in our ability. Thomas Tuchel has worked with us down to the smallest detail. He's analyzed every possibility and prepared us for every scenario that could happen. We trust him completely, and we trust each other. Whatever is being said outside stays outside the dressing room. That's one of the biggest lessons I've learned throughout my career. There's something else I'd like to talk about because I think it's often overlooked. Argentina rely heavily on Messi. Everyone knows that. But that also means there's an opportunity if we can limit his influence on the match. I'm not saying it'll be easy. Every team that's tried to do it in this tournament has failed. But both in theory and in practice, it's still possible. A team that depends so heavily on one player always has both a great strength and a potential weakness. That's the reality of football. As England, we have plenty of quality to win this match. We've reached this stage because of our own ability, not because of luck. We got past Norway in a very difficult match that went all the way to extra time. We've shown that we have the character needed to handle big matches and intense pressure. This team fears no one. It doesn't matter who the opponent is, what their history is, or which players they have. Personally, I'm enjoying the best period of my international career. I feel extremely confident in my performances. I want to take that confidence into the biggest match of my career so far. Not to prove anything to anyone, not to answer the critics. I simply want to take England to the World Cup final. That's the only thing that matters to me. There's one more thing that's been on my mind. Big matches are often decided by the smallest details, one moment of concentration or one small mistake. Against a team that has Messi, the margin for error becomes much smaller. That's why every one of us has to stay focused from the first minute until the final whistle. Facing Messi will be an experience I'll remember for the rest of my life, whatever the result. But I hope that memory will be one of victory and reaching the final, not the memory of watching a legend reach the final while we go home disappointed. Argentina want to win back-to-back World Cups. That's an ambition everyone can understand. But we're also chasing something our country hasn't achieved for decades, something an entire nation has waited generations to see. That hunger is what will drive us to give everything in this match. I have enormous respect for Lionel Messi, and I've never tried to hide that. But that respect ends the moment the referee blows the opening whistle. After that, there are only two teams fighting for one place in the final with exactly the same determination. There is no room for emotion or admiration on the pitch. We're completely ready. And no matter what people say out there, it won't change that, no matter how loud they are.